I'm Katie.
And I'm Kay.
And you're listening to the Babes of Quinte podcast.
Andrea, the owner of Angelic Serendipity in Trenton, is constantly reminding us to have fun as she shows off her amazing products that she has in her store.
Angelic Serendipity offers a wide range of crystals, chakra stones, incense, boho clothing and decor, samples, and so much more to complement all spiritual paths.
You can shop Angelic Serendipity in person at 2 King Street next to Liberty Tax, or check out Angelic Serendipity on Facebook at Angelic Serendipity and Instagram at angelic.serendipity_.
Don't forget to tune in to Angelic Serendipity Facebook Lives for astrology and full moon readings throughout the month. We are truly obsessed with the Family Dental Center and all the support they give us. FDC is locally owned with offices in Belleville, Frankfurt, and Coburg.
Dr. Yasmin and her team have personally helped me overcome my dental anxiety, and I actually feel confident and excited to go to my appointments now.
The FDC team offers high-quality dental services such as routine hygiene, restorative oral surgery, crowns and bridges, cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and dentures.
There's so many options to make you feel comfortable and align with your schedule, including extended hours and being open on Saturdays.
For more info about FDC and to book an appointment, go to familydentalcenter.com and don't forget to follow them on Instagram at FDC Family. What's up?
How are we recording?
A little bit.
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. I'm just going to make sure we're on the radio. Cause anxiety. Okay, go.
Hello. Hello, 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 hello.
We're on the radio. So tired.
And,
But shout out to Emily, our coworker. She was looking so cute today in her skirt.
oh, I didn't even
looking
see.
really pretty.
What is she wearing?
Just like a flowy skirt.
Cute.
It's hot out today, so I get it.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Christine.
Okay, what'd we do this morning?
We went and got, I want to call it headshots, but that's really
It's
not
like a branding shoot?
a branding shoot.
It?
I think so.
We put faces on. We did our hair.
I blow dried my hair this morning.
Crazy.
That was an experience.
You have so much hair. Also, shout out to Kate from the County Emporium for letting us use the space there. It was beautiful.
And Haley for
Yes.
being just so
Hype girl, like
Oh
killing
my
it.
god, she's so cute.
That was actually, this is embarrassing to say, that was my first time at the County Emporium.
Yeah.
And it is magical.
It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It brought me so much dopamine when I walked
it's just
into
like
the
good
store.
feels, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like you can feel Kate's essence in the store.
Yes. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
It's just positive.
I love her so much.
Energy. Yeah. So I don't know the exact address, but
Just the
Google
County
it.
Emporium
Yeah.
on Instagram.
and please go because it's
Yeah,
great.
it's amazing. If you need a Yeti cup, they have like a zillion Yeti things.
I had to like walk away from the Yeti wall. I was like, I would buy all of these.
Exactly. I was just like, I just ordered a Stanley cup. I don't need another Yeti.
They have mini bath bombs, which I was enjoying.
I have-
like little cubes.
I have those ones.
Are they so nice?
They're adorable.
Yeah.
The ones I have smell like Fruit Loops.
Oh, maybe that's what I was looking
Lincoln
at.
is terrified of them.
Of bath bombs in general.
Just the little ones. He wants to throw them into the bath. He doesn't want to get into the bath afterwards.
Okay. But does he like a regular bath bomb?
No.
Oh, he just doesn't like bath bombs.
No, I don't think he likes to throw them in and watch them fizz.
But he doesn't. He's like, I'm not getting in
He's
there.
like, ew, that's going to touch me? No. Fair
Vibes.
enough.
I get it. Last week we went to Brazen.
Oh boy.
Like, where are we? What time is it? What's happening?
Honestly, I think I've been more social in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm just really tired.
So tired.
But also
Kind of vibing with it.
I kind of love it because everybody that has been, everyone at Brazen was just so inspiring. Our table was hilarious.
Fire. Yeah, I'm sure every table was, but I did enjoy our table.
Yeah, we had Alexis from Designs by Alexis Rose. Mm-hmm. We had Deanna from the Quinte Museum. She's the executive director, and she's hysterical.
Lindsay.
We had Lindsay from La Lux Femme.
Go listen to the episode.
That was a great episode.
Sarah from Your Creative Junction. Go listen to the episode.
Love her.
And Shannon.
From the Adult Learning Center.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and
She was fun. I loved them all.
The Tupperware.
The Tupperware, yeah. That was a power move, and I'm going to start doing that. But it was a good day. I felt inspired. I felt many things.
I honestly, it was just nice to meet so many people who were like, oh, we listen to the podcast.
It's crazy.
Or it's like, oh, let's talk about podcasting. Like, we'd love to talk to you about like collaborating. And I'm just like, oh my God, like,
what?
Amazing. And Courtney from Colorful Courts, I'm coming for you still.
Yeah. I don't think you, well, maybe you do, because we definitely spew anxiety when we talk. Yeah. But I don't think you understand how much self-doubt we have and do not believe this is working.
Oh, yeah. No. And like,
it's other people being like, no, you're doing great. I'm like, but am I?
You know what? And I told this to you earlier, and I said it to you again later.
That time and then that other time.
Twice today I have told you this, that we do undersell
what we do.
How like good Katie is at this.
We're both really good at this. You can't just do that.
No, I know, but the editing stuff and, you know, the time it takes and, you know, the planning of the guests, the writing of the intro, like all of the coordination behind the scenes, the making the marketing materials, the digital graphics,
we
like
do put
the animations. And it's like, you know what, the like even just engagement, like every day, like just making content outside of the podcast, but for the podcast page, it's a part-time job on top of a full-time job.
Yeah. And I have to say big kudos. Like, we do say the bald men a lot. But the fact, I do appreciate that John and Ferg they said go for it. They could have said, no, why would we let you do that?
They absolutely
while you're at
could've.
work.
Yeah.
Like,
and we do this during work hours.
Yeah. And, like, we do definitely do extra stuff, like, on top of it. But, like, big kudos to our bosses for saying, like, let's see what like do it. See what happens. Like what's
honestly like just so grateful because it's given me a confidence and like I don't want to say I felt a little bit in a rut, but I was in a little bit of a rut.
A little bit of a rut.
Like
I think we both were.
Well, it was just like, okay, like where do I see my career going in the next 5 years? Like what is it that I really want to do to help my community? Like what kind of impression do I want to leave? Like all these things. And I was like, you know what? Like I really want to try to do something meaningful that's going to help our community and, you know, amplify voices. But like we have this platform and we have the resources, we have the people who can teach us how to do things. And like these are like people who are really, really effing good at their job. Like Ferg has multiple national awards and was nominated for a CMA like in Nashville. Like, you know, like these people are like incredibly talented and we have them right here. And I'm like,
what can we do?
And it's just like we have all the support from them. And I think that means everything to me.
I think that's what I appreciate. Just going out and people being like, oh, I listened to the podcast. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that, I even appreciate people taking the time. I think I've said this before. People taking the time out of their day to come and talk to us for an hour. People like partnering, like doing partnerships with us because that just helps like validate what we're doing in like a monetary sense, which really helps. Like there's just all these things that I appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to cry, but I do appreciate it.
I am going to cry.
No.
I think it's just been really overwhelming the last like probably week and a half. Where I think it's just like, you know, like actually getting out and seeing people. Like
you can't cry because I'm a crier now.
I know.
We can't cry right now.
But it's like, you know, just like getting out in the community and like seeing people and being like, oh, hey, I didn't know about this. Like, that's really cool.
I think learning I think I have preconceived notions of what some businesses or some organizations are doing. But then when I talk to them, I'm like, oh.
You're so much cooler than I thought you were.
I feel so dumb. Like, I didn't realize all of these things.
Yeah, and I think that's the coolest thing is, like, being able to help these, like, organizations, people, businesses, like, whatever it may be, like, tell their story.
Because there's a story behind everything, and I love learning about it.
Same.
Whoa, that's a good intro.
That was lots of feels.
So many feels. I can't cry today. I've cried so much the past 2 weeks. Yeah, no, it's really nice. And I think today we just, this morning or like on our drive back from the County Emporium, we decided to believe in ourselves a little bit more.
Yeah.
And our new, I'm saying noodling, hoping Jenny's going to listen. Jenny Chandler, shout out. She hates when we say noodling. But also big snaps to her because she gave us the chance to speak. There was scheduled speakers at Brazen. Yeah. There's 3 incredible speakers. I don't know. I can't remember the last names or first. I'm horrible with names. This is so bad. Ophelia, Carrie, and do you remember the last woman's name?
No. I'm not even going to try to butcher it.
No.
It's a beautiful name, but I don't know it. Hold on. I definitely followed her on Babes. Ophelia?
Ophelia, Carrie, and
Hadriana. Adriana with an H.
Ooh.
Hadriana.
I'm sorry if we're saying that wrong. They were all beautiful speakers and like amped up the crowd. Also, Rebecca from Boudoir Babe Squad, who
Amazing.
emceed the event, was amazing. And then Jenny asked if we wanted to go up and just do a quick blurb about Babes of Quinte, and that was I pooping my pants? Was I so scared and shaky? And I feel like
I sounded like I was going to cry.
people say it was fine, but
I don't believe them.
I don't know. But just like that opportunity, like you can't
trust
say no.
us
And
to be, yeah,
yeah,
to trust us to be like, okay, and to believe enough to just be like, yeah, no,
Crazy.
just take a shot with them.
Yeah.
I really, really appreciate you, Jenny.
Yeah. Hype squad. Another hype squad.
So many
Also,
hype
I
squads.
do enjoy, I'm sure a lot of communities do it, but I have learned that because we're like Quinte's smaller, everyone is really here to support each other.
I feel
And
like people are embracing us too.
it's so nice because we're not, the cookie cutter image, or mine's.
But I don't think
mentally-
anybody else is either. And I think that's what I'm realizing is not everybody
No.
else is just as,
Chaotic.
yeah. And it's like sometimes it's like the best ideas are just like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And then to see them succeed is really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And
And there's a lot of support, and I think just reach out. People want to support you.
yeah.
Big snaps. This week.
Yeah.
This was a good one. Very dad energy.
Oh, so much data energy.
It's Evan Furmidge.
Yeah, from the Rufo team. He's a real estate agent.
So funny.
One of the first people I met when I moved to Quinte.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So I don't think he knew that, but
He does now because we talked
does
about
now.
it.
It was one of my earliest friends here.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And
So I
his
was
kids
like-
have the sickest names. I'm going to let him tell you in the episode, but like, cool. Love it.
And they're adorable.
I don't know what his wife is hot. We talk about that.
We do know.
We do touch on that a little bit.
And by a little bit, I mean a lot. You're
Yeah.
so hot.
You're so hot. We love it. And I guess without further ado,
Here's Evan Furmidge.
enjoy.
So our next guest is someone I met when I first moved to the Bay of Quinte nearly 14 years ago. Admittedly, I probably haven't seen him in about 8, but my brain thinks we're still bros. So here we are. He's currently a realtor at the Rufo Real Estate Team and makes informative content with his signature dad joke humor, like how a single man shouldn't hang beer store artwork when staging a condo. Don't let that fool you, though. Evan's super knowledgeable about market trends, interest rates, income properties, and the hottest topic on everyone's mind, the housing crisis. During the pandemic, he chronicled his journey into fitness and boxing, and I vividly remember a headband and a ball on a stretchy string. And I also remember that going very poorly. But we'll get into that. He's also a dad to 2 incredibly cute kids and married to a total bombshell baking queen. Babes of Quinte, please welcome Evan Furmidge.
That was the best. Like I just loved your I was like, that's great.
She's so
I need
hot.
to throw a little
is
soundbite in there.
she?
She is.
What's her name?
Cassidy Furmidge is my wife's name.
Yeah, she's super
She
hot.
keeps it all moving.
Yeah.
Mother to Honey and Archie.
Those are your kids' names?
Yes.
Those are really. I'm loving like learning people's kids' names when
It-
they come in.
It was pretty important to us.
They didn't have stupid names.
Yes, yeah. The boy name came very easily. That was like we both
so
agreed.
cute.
We came to it pretty quickly, but Honey took a while too.
She is a bombshell.
She's a babe.
I looked her up. Like, damn.
Creeped her on air. There's a video that fast.
we're live.
This is
we're
live
going
creeping.
live.
Oh wow, cool. Yep, that's her.
Wow.
Well, since we're talking about your kids, I have mad respect for you guys as parents.
Oh, thank
for
you.
one, because you guys like don't post their faces.
Yeah, I like that.
And I
noticed
think
that.
that's like a lot of people like overshare about their kids' lives
Yeah.
and their personal shit. And you guys do it, but like not like, you
Yeah.
keep their privacy. And I
Very
think that's
Dak Shepard of
so,
you.
Is it?
Yeah, they don't share. Dak Shepard and Kristen Bell don't share their kids' faces.
and I think that's just really admirable.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like totally respecting your kids, even though they don't have like that autonomy and like they don't know yet.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of our thing is we're going to keep it up to them. Once they can understand once we can ask them, like, do you want to be on camera?
Yeah.
Then if they say yes, then whatever, we'll start posting them. But I don't know, it is a really weird thing, time to be a parent in that sense, because as a kid, like your entire life, it really seems like a lot of my friends' kids, their entire life is shared on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
And I like to keep my friends and family in the loop as well.
Yeah.
But there's just like something about posting their face all the time that my wife specifically didn't agree with. But Archie, like, he's kind of a performer, so I'm thinking he might jump in on some content.
Sorry, can we
at some
pause
point.
for a second?
Yeah, no problem.
My ears are very sensitive to
Well, yeah, because it comes out of the headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just that was
No,
just like,
it's happened
when you're in here,
before.
you can just always hear it.
This happened before, and like I grew up in radio, which means my dad has like tuned my ears to like any sound that's not supposed to be there.
You can hear it.
So when I'm editing podcasts, sometimes I'm like losing my mind because like I can't edit out the sound I don't want.
Is it tedious? Because I know editing,
I don't know. I don't edit.
No.
I've learned to do it while doing other things.
Hmm.
Some episodes are worse than others, but
Yeah.
just because
That was
depends how unhinged we get.
right. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you're going to edit our episode with Kira and Christine. Because, like, we just lose it the whole time.
And we just talk on top of it. It's so funny. I'm excited.
We had an interview yesterday, and we literally she popped a bottle. Like,
Oh, good.
And I'm just kind of like, if that says anything about what happens, like, yeah.
She was like, do you want a drink? I'm like, yeah, but I can't. It's 10 a.m.
Because
at
I
work.
I was going to say, I should have booked an afternoon appointment.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe we need to start doing like Babes After Dark where we drink and do this.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanna get
I'll come
stoned.
back for
You can get high.
I'll just get high.
Yeah.
That's more my jam.
yeah.
Sorry, I did sidetrack us, so.
I made really poor choices when I drank.
Same.
You
Yeah,
were probably there for most of them.
I mean, I don't
yeah.
really, I don't do much drinking anymore either because I'm such a lightweight. So it just ends
Isn't
up
that how it goes? Like,
it's just a quick recipe for a nap for me
Yeah.
nowadays.
I like an afternoon
nap.
bev, and then like I can be in bed by 8.
Yeah, I know.
My vibe.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm saying this now, but I'll be on the golf course soon.
Oh yeah, I
with
feel like that's different.
Some
energy.
$9 drinks.
It doesn't count.
So wait,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
did you guys meet? Wait, was it through your ex?
Was it? Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Man.
just some friends and some mutual friends. I didn't really that well, but
No,
they
but
had
you
mutual.
like and knew Tilly
That was it.
and
Yeah.
and you were friends with Tilly, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out the break room.
Yeah, we shout them
We're
out.
have-
They're coming on eventually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're just trying to schedule the right time. Yeah.
Well, I bought my son's first bike from them.
Aw.
He likes it.
Is it a bike with pedals or is it one of those like push bikes?
It's it just sits on it. He's too small when he first got it, so he took the seat off and just
Nice.
kind of like sits on the bar and
I think I
rides.
would love that. I
Yeah.
need to get
Those
him a
new
bike.
kids' bikes they make so much sense because they're teaching them to balance.
Definitely, and they can ride it way sooner.
Yeah.
like you.
They can ride like a pedal bike sooner, right?
Yeah, and I think like I don't know what a tricycle teaches as far
Nothing?
as
No, I mean, it's just like
sit on it
terrifying.
and pedal, right?
It's like a horror movie, like waiting
Yeah.
to
Well, because there's no
happen.
brakes on it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm
Are
not
there
giving-
not?
on a tricycle.
I don't
no,
think so.
That is.
I am absolutely not giving my child is.
Where are you backpedal?
Yeah, there's that right. There's
But you have
there's
to
the
teach
brakes.
them to
like a
back pedal.
fixie.
Yeah.
Like you can't. That's what that's called, right? I was never like the big biking nerd. They were all biking nerds, and we had
Do
like
you still bike? Do you cycle?
I do, for like transportation, but I'm
Do you,
not.
you don't
huge
have like
into
a
it.
really like tight cycling suit?
I
You wear?
don't. No.
I think those are so funny.
I think those need to come back.
I think they
oh,
are.
they're back.
I see a lot of men in like really
Very
tight,
tight.
shorts, and I'm like, what are we doing?
And just
And, like, the padded
it's
bums.
asking for
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
I think if they're too short, you can't be riding a bike on those. We'll have to move this to the After Dark show.
Yeah.
that shit will happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we had a hashtag on Instagram.
Like your
Commute
friend
bicy-
group?
Yeah, commute bicycle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. And also, Tilly specifically has been involved with bikes for like
Ever.
years now. He worked
Yeah.
in some of the shops around town. So I always just like kind of learned through him, you
Yeah.
know, but he was really more
That's cool.
committed to the whole biking thing. And I think Ryan was too.
Ryan
right?
was really into it. Yeah,
Yeah, I just remembered
you
the,
like
the
biking?
hashtag.
I bought the wrong bike for what they were doing.
Yeah.
My bike, the bike that I used to ride with you guys, now sits. It's decoration.
He's like, I brought business cards. I'm like, cool. Am I buying a house?
Yeah.
No, he was in town 2 weeks ago, and he texted me. He was like, "Do you want to fuck?" I was like, "No."
Wow.
I'm like, you're married.
Wow.
She doesn't know about this.
She really shoots from the hip. But
He's like, I know I'm a total asshole, but I think about you a lot. I was like, yeah, fuck you. Like, no. Wow. We can keep that part in. Fuck you.
Yeah. And so your families were mutually living together for a while? Yeah, that's what I
We had a
thought.
house together.
Yeah, that's
And
what
dogs.
And
That's
dogs
insane.
and
People
all the
suck.
things. Like the one with the garage that.
Wait,
like,
so how old are you?
I am turning 32 in July.
You're 34.
I'm 35.
Yeah.
35. So you guys
And
were
Ryan
just,
was,
young,
like-
like
Oh, yeah.
20-year-olds.
Ryan's 42.
Old
So
man.
he's
Yeah.
older. Or 40. He's 79. So 44.
But still, you were like the just little.
Oh yeah, we
rats
were like
running
in
around
our
Belleville.
20s.
Oh, yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
is like I was like
That's so fun.
22.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would have been like 20 or 21.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're from this area because you worked at the Willow.
I do, yes, and you can probably hear from my rural Southern Ontario accent that I must be from or somewhere around here.
So where are you? Where did you grow up?
Ameliasburg.
Nice.
That's where Willow Lee Sod is. So
Yeah, I used to drive. I worked many jobs where I would have to drive past and I'd always be like, the sod farm.
I know, and people love it. Just like looking out over the
It's
perfect
so
green
sod.
grass. It kind of
It's
looks like a
like-
movie set.
It's like when people, you worked there, sorry.
So sod's pre-grown grass. So especially a lot of new builds.
So you can just like roll the grass out.
Yeah, exactly.
I need that.
Oh, do you?
You contact
so
the
badly.
sod farm.
You go to them. They got the best sod around.
I need something that also flattens.
That's like a machine you'd get.
Is that a
Yeah,
machine?
yeah.
Or is it just like a roller?
Or I can do it for you. I'll come over with the rake. I love landscaping.
I love landscape. We'll come over
Makes
and
me-
landscape your property.
Work like that makes me feel nostalgic now. Like, yeah, because I think farming or that type of work is a really good foundation. Like I think when Archie is the age that I was when I started there, I'm gonna ship him out to the sod farm.
We
and honey
recently
too.
talked about this because another guest that was on grew up on a farm, and then my partner farmed, and then I started farming, and it's just like it makes your work ethic like insane.
It really like when you turn into like a teenager and get your first like off the farm job or whatever, it really makes everything seem easier.
Yeah, I'm like, this is so chill. Like, this is
Yeah.
what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and like picking rocks, that was a big part of my
Okay,
life
well, I have rocks
too.
in my backyard. I'm getting Lincoln to like pick them.
Yeah,
just, like,
good.
be
He's
like,
a farm kid already.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than picking rocks and baling hay.
Yeah, I used to get paid by the bucket. Just like fill this bucket and you get like 10 or
Stop
$5 a bucket with rocks.
I remember
yeah.
our like neighbor in Peterborough was like, "Can you come help pick rocks in this field?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll drink beer and pick rocks."
Yeah.
We get to the field, it's like all rocks. I was like, "There's no chance." Like they have things like buckets that can pick rocks for you, which would be like a great investment if you have a rocky field. But
Yeah.
another thing.
Okay, well, I have a rocky backyard.
Perfect.
So what
Send
do
the
you
kids
live in like a new build or something, or are you?
No, you know those condos at that corner of you need
I'll
to
beep it out.
just beep it out.
Okay, you're in
area.
those.
So it's
yeah.
like I'm hidden.
Do you have like a fence or something? Why do you
Yes,
have?
it's fenced in.
Is that why? So you have sun issues? Is that why you're?
No, okay.
that's
So
why
what
you-
happened was when we bought it, we had to dig out, like the basement had to be dug out because there was like
Oh.
leaking issues. There was like whatever.
Yep.
So they dug out the whole backyard, and then when I moved in, I just put grass on it.
The grass seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I grew my own grass. I was very proud of myself. And then it just like the grass died because I didn't.
Happens.
I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to take care of grass. I've never had to do like yard work in my life. I didn't know you had to water grass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a lot actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well-
Loves water.
Yeah.
The more you know. I didn't know this, so all my grass died.
Sod might be the better choice for you because it's more
Probably.
mature.
Yeah.
So you got to stay off of it for a little while, but once it takes to the ground, it's a healthy lawn. That's
Does
why-
this landscaping background help you in the real estate world?
Sometimes because I have a head start when it comes to like grading issues.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
So like a big
What's that even mean?
So like a big problem with a lot of basements is like they're wet.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is that so water sits alongside the foundation,
Yeah.
and especially in cold climates when it heaves and it freezes and it causes issues to foundation, right? Well, a huge part of that to why people have wet basements or moisture in the basement is because their landscaping outside directs water towards the foundation.
Oh yeah, that
So
makes
a lot,
sense.
so a lot of the time, properly grading it, which in some cases the average person can do with a shovel and some friends, you can make a huge difference.
Yeah, I have friends for that.
Yeah.
I'm your friend.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to grade?
Yeah, I do. I love grading.
We got that done. It's fine. I just need to, I'm not going to get the children to pick rocks.
Yeah. Love it.
And then I need to, because it kind of like right now, it's just really bumpy.
Yeah, just
And it's like,
just
it's
rake it
fine,
out.
but it's just too
Get a hard
bumpy
rake.
for my liking. I
I'll
want to
come
be
over
flatter.
and take a look.
And it
Yeah.
kind of goes like this at the very edge. And I'm like, I don't like that it goes like this. So I need to like
level it.
Yeah. So that's all I need to
we
do.
can do that.
It's probably like a weekend's worth of work.
It's the right time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait
so
for the first warm day.
that's all I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
And I have to do my front gardens.
See, gardening.
Adult life, man.
It makes me excited.
You're like, sign me up.
Yeah,
I know.
can't wait to get this edger out and clean up my garden. Yeah.
Love an edger.
Another.
What's an
It like
edger?
gives you like a crisp line and
Yeah.
then like a garden bed or the edge of your lawn.
And
I
also,
think I'm going to love an edger too.
Yeah, I think you
will.
would, yeah.
You will. It adds a lot of value. I often tell people if they're selling in the summertime to edge your
edge their-
gardens because it just
yeah.
like makes
it
it a
adds,
little
like,
bit.
that little-
It's like staging outside, kind of.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I need to like get proper like, because like right now like I have like they're like raised flower beds, kind of, but the outside like the border, the frame, is like ugly as sin. So I'm like, I think that might
take
be
it out.
this summer's project.
Yeah.
I was
Is
with
redoing that.
a home inspector last week, and he told me, he's always telling me little tidbits. I learned when you're in a home inspection, if you're ever buying in the future, just pay attention to everything they say because really you can learn a lot. And last week, this guy was like, the amount of houses that I'm in that have gardens right up against the house
Stupid. Don't do it.
is astronomical apparently. And he says he's always telling people, if you have gardens out front or alongside or in the back of your house, put in a fourth wall. Don't put it right up against. Don't use the house as a
your
wall because
Because then you're just constantly watering.
exactly. People spend all this money and time getting water away from the
smart.
foundation to protect it. You know, you put a sump pump in, you do
all these
whatever,
things, yeah.
and then you water
then you
your
water
gardens
your
right beside
garden.
the house.
You're like, it's just beautiful though.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's
Yeah.
ruining your house, people.
It can, and so like
Well,
he
the
just
more you
says,
know.
just like rake out the
Yeah.
back like 12 inches and put a fourth
Okay.
wall in, and that'll make a huge difference.
Things I'm doing
like
this
that.
summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I-
do
Getting
it too.
dirty this summer. Like I'm actually going to do
I think
manual
this
labor.
should be like a real montage we make of you doing manual labor.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother said I'm too pretty for manual labor.
Really? No one's ever told me that.
That's what I said. I was like, my parents were like, "You're not great looking. Go lift
Yeah,
that
so it's
up."
like, you're manual labor looking
Yeah.
type of guy.
No, so I was like, okay, I mean, my grandma's a sweet baby angel, so I'm like, of course I'm gonna like.
Of course,
Well-
I'm that beautiful, and you are. But it's just so funny.
Yes.
No, I just think it's like I just lean into it because I don't.
Yeah.
I'll do anything else. I will organize. I will unpack things. I will like make sure everyone is fed and hydrated and get everybody wasted. And like be the hype girl.
Everyone
Yeah.
has
I'll
your
bring the
strengths.
tools
Yeah.
to you so you don't have to move.
You're the hype girl, and that's what you need during like a long day.
You do.
you
You
do,
need
yeah.
someone to make drinks when you're,
Yeah,
you're
so
doing
it's
yard
like
work for sure.
and I'll make sure I'll like tidy up things as like if there's a mess, I'll vacuum that shit
There you
up like
go.
as we go. So
That's
it's
all-
not like
that's an important role
a total
as well.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is like I'm not a manual labor person,
No.
but I can do all the other little things.
See, I hate
My
doing
wife
that
would agree
stuff.
with you.
I
Yeah.
love doing that stuff.
Perfect.
See,
We're a
isn't it
team.
great?
Yep.
Angelic Serendipity is locally owned and operated by Andrea in Trenton. She has created a metaphysical store that specializes in selling items related to spirituality, alternative healing practices, and metaphysical beliefs.
Angelic Serendipity offers a diverse range of products such as crystals, sound bowls, and so much more.
In addition to all the amazing products you can buy in-store, Andrea offers Facebook Live events to spotlight full moon readings, spiritual readings, and astrology reports.
On June 3rd, Angelic Serendipity is partnering with the Trenton DBIA to organize the first spiritual event in downtown Trenton starting at 3 p.m. The event promises a magical evening embracing the magic moon, including mystical vendors, dancing, guided meditation, and a blessing ritual.
For more information about Angelic Serendipity and the upcoming spiritual event in downtown Trenton, like Angelic Serendipity on Facebook at Angelic Serendipity and follow the store on Instagram at angelic.serendipity_. Last year, Jeanette and I had the pleasure of participating in Volunteer and Information Quinte's Dancing with the Stars. Despite not being dancers, we had an amazing experience and learned some super cool moves that we still use at parties. We literally still use our cartwheel flip. We brought it out at my brother's wedding.
The 15th annual Dancing with the Stars Quinte is returning on May 26th. We at Starboard Communications are big fans of the VIQ and Dancing with the Stars, with our coworkers participating almost every year. This year, Lewis from the Cool 100 Morning Show will be putting on his dancing shoes, and one of our past podcast guests, Jen Beldam from Northern Craft Supply, is also taking the stage.
VIQ is a multi-purpose agency that assists with the recruitment, referral, retention, and recognition of volunteers to over 275 agencies throughout Hastings and Prince Edward County.
Dancing with the Stars Quinte is VIQ's largest fundraiser, and it ensures that they can continue to provide the essential programs and services to our area. Let's support this amazing organization in Quinte while watching some of our favorite local stars perform a dance they've learned over the last 8 weeks.
For more information on Volunteer and Information Quinte and to purchase tickets for the 15th annual Dancing with the Stars, check out the link in our show notes. The Family Dental Center provides a range of dental treatments and services, including Invisalign.
Even though back in the day it was a total flex to show up to school with new elastic colors on your metal braces, traditional braces can cause a lot of pain, restrict food choices, and are difficult to floss. Overall, they just kind of suck.
That is why FDC offers Invisalign, a clear way to straighten your teeth with a series of removable, comfortable, invisible aligners that gradually move your teeth without the pain of metal wires and brackets.
Your smile makeover is an investment in yourself, and all Family Dental Center locations offer third-party financing to help you fund your new smile.
To find out if Invisalign is right for you, contact the Family Dental Center in Belleville, Frankfurt, or Coburg at familydentalcenter.com. Notice, so you took pre-service firefighting?
I did, yeah.
Right out of high school?
Yeah, right out of, it was mostly because my guidance counselor and mother were like, you're going to get into some sort of college program. Because my marks coming out of high school were pretty mediocre. So yeah, I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I liked whatever. So it's adventure, physical activity, something like that. And I was like, I can totally see myself being a firefighter. Yeah. So I went to this program, and 3 or 4 months in, I was like, okay, this is not happening. I'm not doing this for the rest of my life. And
yeah, my brother and my partner are a firefighter.
Are they?
Well, my brother's on department. Jeanette's a volunteer. And I'm just like, y'all insane.
Yeah. It just wasn't the life for me, I guess. I think what became apparent is coming out of that program, I was still going to have to do either military service or fight forest fires for a long time, or just take on work that was way far away from the area that I was prepared to go to. And it just, I was young and I
was not it.
Wasn't it? Yeah, that was
I feel like that happens. I think everyone needs to take a year off after
a gap
high school.
year.
Big time.
Or at least I learned the most about myself as a person, taking 2 years off after high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got pregnant.
Lucky you.
Surprise! Maybe don't do that, but if you want to, do it. It's up to you. Don't judge.
No, but it's big, break after high school for sure. Yeah. And
but don't get pregnant.
But don't get pregnant.
No.
And yeah, if you're a counselor in high school right now, don't force kids into programs that nobody needs to go to post-secondary if it's clearly not for them.
No.
I think the high schools have a way better grasp on that now.
I think so.
Because I know at my daughter's school right now, they have bridging programs. So starting the 11th and 12th grade, if kids know that they want to be in trades, they will help them, and their 12th year could be the whole afternoon. They're just working out in the field to get that experience.
Oh, good.
It's really,
I feel
really cool.
I don't know, at least I also went to a private school, which is technically a university preparatory school, so they weren't pushing trades programs, but now it feels like everywhere's pushing trades, and I love it.
Well,
that's good.
Trades make so much sense.
Because I remember when I was in school, or the last year I was in school, they greatly reduced the shop class.
What high school did you go to?
Bayside.
Oh, okay.
And it sort of seemed like it was on the way out there, but they've fixed that problem, I guess. Then because
I thought they had a great shop. They had so many trades.
Yeah, that Bayside had this big giant shop when I went there, and they were really only. I think they were just having enrollment issues in general.
Yeah.
And that's why it wasn't getting used as much. But yeah, I always thought it was so cool that they had there's a full auto shop at Bayside, basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
but
I
that's
think it
where
should be used as much as
my high
possible.
school had an auto shop too. You can just like bring your car in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
played
you'd
rugby
have to
with
just
girls that went to Bayside, and they were like, "Oh, in shop class." I was like, "That's so cool."
Yeah.
take shop.
It was
Like,
cool.
how do I take that?
I learned to weld there.
Oh,
That's
that's so
cool.
cool.
Yeah, I know. I thought that. I remember like thinking, like after like learning how to weld and learning that skill, it made like appreciating what you were learning in like math way harder.
Yeah.
Like, this is nowhere as cool as welding.
No.
I don't think many things are as cool as welding.
No.
Welding's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would learn to weld. I'd YouTube it.
I'd
That's how I
probably-
learned to do electrical.
That's
Don't suggest doing that, but
you know when
you
you're
can
in a
learn a
pinch.
lot.
That's how I learned how to change a toilet.
Learn from what? How did you-
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Right. Got it. Yeah. I've learned everything from YouTube. I think that's what we all do now.
How
It's
else
like I'm-
do you
I'm
do
too
things?
poor to, like,
yeah, I'm not
actually
going
hire
back to
professionals.
school.
Before I came on this podcast, I was YouTube podcast etiquette.
What did I tell you? Did you actually?
No.
That'd be funny.
But
like,
but
really?
as we were having
No.
this conversation, I was like, I should have done that.
No,
Don't hit the table.
No,
Yeah.
And
Like,
otherwise, I don't
also,
care.
like-
Yeah, that's it. Hands to yourself.
Sometimes Kay will like hit the mic like by accident, or our guest will, and my face will just be like,
And I'm like,
Really? I listen frequently enough, anyways, and I don't ever hear any.
it's because I have
whack-
to. I edit it out.
That's
in
all your
post-
hard
in
work.
Post, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad
Kay's
you
like-
don't hear it. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
But so, what was your journey from like dropping out of fire
Yeah.
to real estate?
Well,
peer pressure.
pretty like
Was it?
after. I mean, like after I got out of pre-service firefighting, I went to a year of like pre-health just to finish out the courses that I didn't get. So I at least had at least had like a certificate. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I've got some post-secondary sort of. And
This
then
is for
We
you,
love the paper.
yeah, and that's like somewhere around when I was done there. I think that's probably when we met.
Likely, yeah.
And then I was in the process of applying to go back to University of Ottawa for like English. And this was already after 2 years where I had sort of like dicked around at,
Classic,
at college, and I was like still had not proven in any way that I was academic. But I got into University of Ottawa somehow. And as I was getting ready to go, I just sort of had this moment where I was like, you know what? This might be a waste of my time. Like this, I
At
don't
least
really know.
You figured out before.
Yeah, so I was like,
Saved
I don't
yourself some
really
money.
know
Yeah.
why I am going, like what I'm going to do with this, or why. My parents were really, really focused on me being a teacher. They thought that I would be a really, really great teacher,
I used
and they
to
were
get
always
that too.
they were always pushing me towards that. And I tried to roll with that for a little while, and I decided not to go to University of Ottawa and went to China instead and taught.
Nice.
Oh
That's
my god,
English.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I went to China for about 14 months and taught kindergarten English. Yeah.
I love that.
I got a TESOL course, which most people like. I think it takes like a month to get
Yeah.
now or something like that.
And then that allows you to teach in
China,
China?
in some
Or-
places,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Most like ESL programs work differently, but there's sort of like different tiers. So like a lot of places now will require a university degree plus that. But
Oh, okay.
depending on the demand
yeah.
and like the government where you're going, there's different regulations. So yeah, I did that for a little while, and that went okay. And then I came back after 14 months, and I moved to Toronto and taught at a private school there.
Which
And that
one?
was high school. It's Alafina. It was like a language school.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I taught there for about a year, and I was also selling cell phones at that time. I worked for Wireless Wave, which is like those kiosks in the mall.
That's so fun.
Yeah, and I think that's probably where I developed my like the fundamentals of sales.
Selling, yeah.
Yeah, because that really is. I mean, I don't miss it, but that's real high pressure sales. Like they're
Is that
they have-
commission based?
Oh yeah, like largely, like I think it's minimum wage,
so
and then but
funny.
most people doing it are doing it for the commission
Yeah.
because at the time the commission structure was pretty pretty lucrative, actually. Like, you would be amazed how much money some of those guys are making out of those little kiosk booths if they.
Mind blown.
Yeah, if you notice, like, a lot of them when you're walking by, like, a lot of them are actively pursuing you, actively trying to sell you something, right? And it's because the commission scale at those places is so basically it's so reliant on the income that those guys make that they really incentivize you to hustle. So I did that until I was crazy and I just spent enough time in retail. Yeah, I just had enough. At
some point, the public just breaks you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it just, you know what? Also, I think in your early 20s, there's this like weird stage where you go through where you like don't want to see people from high school.
No.
And you
left.
like, yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people left their whole hometown because of that, right? And that became annoying where, you're like running into people you went to high school with all the time at the mall. And I just kind of got sick of that. So
I could see that. I wouldn't want to do that either.
Yeah. But I credit that place with teaching me how to rejection. That's the biggest thing that I think kills a lot of people that get into sales is hearing no all the time and like coming up with some sort of pitch and it fails and it fails and fails.
Right, because I take it so personally.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
You hate me?
I'm like, wait, but this is gonna work. It's gonna be great.
I don't think a lot of I do have these like moments of impending doom where I'm like, all my clients hate me, but the real the real problem with rejection, I think that eats away at people that get into sales is not do people hate me, but am I just bad at this? Like once you hear there's not many other jobs out there where if you fail 10 times in a row, it's normal.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just start to question themselves and go like, can I last? Can I do this? And especially in something like real estate where there's just commission.
Yeah.
It really can start to mess with you.
Yeah.
So
it's like it's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's scary. I have like really bad rejection sensitivity. Mm-hmm. It would not go well. I would be crying all the time.
A lot of people do. Like a lot even at the after I sold cell phones, I also sold like men's apparel, watches. With this like Canadian wooden watch brand called Tense. I sold them for a little while, and I also sold insurance. So, and
you dabbled in a little bit of everything.
I've sold a lot of stuff, and then from there, I worked in the retirement sector and wrote. That's how I sort of got. That was like my entrance into real estate. Was I worked for a retirement company and just did their leases. So I would just write apartment leases for seniors moving into a retirement home. So not like a long-term care home, just like
an apartment building.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's like a job I didn't know existed.
Yeah. It's
the more you know.
It's like the retirement sector is it's different because you have to take into account the needs of the person as well. So like a lot of homes offer different packages. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of like building that package with the senior that's moving in, but you're also sort of having to qualify them and see like, are they able-bodied enough to live here? Because,
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but like one of the major, it's funny how all these things are related, but one of the contributors to why there is so few homes to buy outside right now is because we have a lack of retirement homes and options for seniors for them to move to and sell their homes.
Yeah,
right?
So they're just staying in their home.
So they stay in their home for as long as they possibly can, because like the average monthly cost of a retirement home, even in Belleville, so we won't even get into like the GTA and larger areas, but even in Belleville, the average cost of a room is probably like $4,000 to $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
And that's just...
I recently priced this out.
Did you? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
high, yeah.
That might even be generous. I'm sure there's options that are even more than that, right? Mm-hmm. So seniors and the families of these seniors look at those prices, and a lot of these seniors need to go somewhere. They need help.
Yeah.
But it's just not attainable or affordable.
Well, exactly. So they say, so you've got this, old wartime bungalow in the East End that's very marketable that you could sell for, $400,000 or $500,000. But when prices to move into retirement are $4,000 to $5,000, and on top of that, there's no availability anywhere.
Yeah.
Then even if you sell your home for that $500,000,
There's nowhere to go.
and that's gonna give you enough money to live for like 10 years in a retirement home.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Then
start.
what?
Yeah, a lot of people start looking, start thinking about moving into retirement at like 75, 80, where you very well could live another 20 years.
Yeah.
Close to 15,
Yeah,
20
especially
years.
now. Like,
So that home sale, that generational wealth that would typically be recycled back into your kids' lives to help them buy a home or something like that, is just eaten up by your retirement costs. So what some seniors will do is just say, no, I'm just going to rot here in my home and live here for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And sort of like try and make do. But those homes aren't going up for sale on the market where if they were, there would be more supply for young people to buy.
yeah, I feel like too, like coming back, because I was in Peterborough for a bit and then coming back, just like it's very daunting. Like I'm 27 and it's so daunting to be like, okay, so I have to save this much for a down payment. And then all my friends and I say like we're preparing for when we buy a house to then be house poor, because we'll just be like paying off our house.
That's the unfortunately.
Yeah, so like my friend group, we're always like, our one friend has started looking with her boyfriend, and we're like, yay, then we can all be house poor together. Like we're just waiting for one of us to do it, and then we can all do it, and then
So what I think more people need to do is just live with each other.
yeah.
And there's like I've read a handful of articles that specifically in major cities, there's just like it could be a man and a woman, two men, two women living together in a platonic relationship who just did that to get into the market.
Yeah.
And even on the renting side too.
Yeah.
I think just like, we're going to live together because we're just going to be long-term roommates. But it's about getting in. It's it's getting into the market is the
Scary,
crisis part, basically.
Yeah.
Because I remember like coming back, even trying to find a place to rent in the fall was like, because I was living with my parents with my two dogs, and they were like, you're going to need to go. I was like, I know, but give me a second. And like trying to find a place was hard.
Yes.
And it's exhausting. So
Yeah.
The whole housing continuum.
yeah, we learned about that with
Habitat.
it was Habitat. Or
The
was it
housing
Grayson? I
continuum?
can't
What did you
remember.
learn?
So the way, like the housing, okay, so it's like when there's like a big demand or something for one
There's
thing.
a chart.
There's a chart.
But
She
it's
gave
like
us a chart.
renter, like it's supposed to be like, I think it's kind of what you're saying, like the old people need to move out so that the people who are renting can then afford. But
Yes.
so if those people aren't moving out, then it pushes the whole continuum back, and people are just stuck. Like
That's
homeless
right.
people can't get out of where they are because the people who are in low income have to stay. Like, so it just, it's pushing the
and
whole
they can't move up.
Yeah.
They can't move up to the next step of the continuum
That's
because
exactly
they're
right.
stuck
So
there.
like what you said, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a lot of factors at play, but retirement sector, one thing, big problem.
Yeah.
They need tens of thousands more beds to catch up to sort of like normalize,
Yeah.
not to necessarily fix the housing crisis. But on top of that, I think since the like 80s or 90s, the government does not build housing anymore. We used to.
Yeah.
The government used to be involved in developing and building affordable housing, and they don't anymore. So now we're a
'cause
generation removed from that, and
then
nobody has anything
why
to buy.
does anybody, there's no incentive for developers to build affordable housing because it's like you're not going to make a profit, or if the profit margins will just be like super low.
Yeah, it's just there's
So it's
more
like-
money in building other stuff. I think
Yeah.
is what has. I think you'll start to see more conversion projects. Like
Absolutely.
a big, a big thing happening in commercial real estate right now is office vacancy, because the pandemic sent everybody
Yeah.
home, and not all of them, but a lot of companies right now are just saying like, forget it. We
Yeah.
figured out how to work from
Yeah,
like
it's
we
fine.
don't need to send these people back into the office. It makes them unhappy, and it especially if they could get out of their lease, they're not involved in. They're not looking to get back, right?
Saves them money.
Like I think I read yesterday that Toronto is at its lowest lowest office commercial real estate levels since 1995.
Wow.
That's insane.
So
but
they've
then I
just-
guess those could potentially be,
It's
they'd have to be like
housing.
rezoned, but they would become
that's
residential.
what I think. That's what I think.
Is that what they're doing at
will
Station or that one building that used to be like the Government of Canada building at that weird corner near the chamber?
That's actually still active.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they go. I know.
But they're like completely gutting it. Like,
are they?
They're just putting new windows in it and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not
like,
sure.
right now.
It's funny. My wife is applying for a job, and her friend works there, and she has to go there once a month. So it's kind of related because she works for the government, and traditionally was in an office 7 days a week or 5 days a week.
That one moved to Station Street.
Right.
So you have to go to Station Street now. But there was a building on the corner of like,
It's like across from
Moira
the chamber. By
and-
small scale?
yeah, like across the
Yeah.
street from Small Scale.
Okay.
And
Sorry.
that used to be where Service Canada was. And they all moved out of that building.
I didn't
And
know they
now
moved out of there.
they're doing something with it. And I don't know what.
I think too.
I'll look
what,
into it for you. See if I can figure it out.
Because I
Appreciate
have
it.
friends who work at the M&R in Peterborough, and like when they started coming back to work, it's like they'd have certain days, so they would like share a cubicle, and then it just cuts down on space
Yeah.
that has to be used, which makes sense. So this is so interesting. Why do I find this so interesting?
It's
It's
just
great.
it's wild how many tentacles there are that lead back into real estate. And
So do you like it?
I do. I mean, yeah, I like it.
Do you like the tentacles?
Yes, yeah.
Tentacles of real
Some,
estate?
not the tentacles, but no, I do like real estate. Like I really like sales. Like in general, I have sales has what sort of like got me out of bed, and real estate is just the purest form of that. Like it really is. I'm on a team, so I have
Yeah.
like people that I can kind of bounce ideas off of, and they help me with marketing, and it's easier to carry costs and stuff like that. But real estate is just you get out what you put in. So in that sense, you can work very, very hard, tirelessly, and it will pay off. But at the same time, you can also give yourself the option to like be around more for your kids. Like I am at home with my kids full time with both of them.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And my wife was home for mat leave for Archie, and then she went back to work for about 4 months, and then she was pregnant with Honey, so she went off. And she got to do her mat leave, and now I feel like I'm on some weird form of mat leave now, where I'm
Is that
home with
paternity?
Chloe.
Paternity leave.
Paternity leave.
Parental leave.
Parental
is what,
leave.
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
they're calling it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
parental leave. I like that.
Parental. Because now you can split it between both parents.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Or I took it all myself because
Nice.
fuck that.
Yeah.
But no, Cass was home for like, I think with Honey, she was home something like 14 months or something like that.
Yeah.
So she got like a nice chunk, and now she's very happy to be back at work. But that's one of the, when my son was born, I still worked for the retirement side, and I was going to work every day, and that tore me up. That
Yeah.
made going to work so much worse.
I can't even imagine like being on the other side of it because like I mean I had the baby obviously,
Yeah.
but like to have to like leave when
Yeah.
they're so new and like fresh and like I remember one of our coworkers, they had a baby, obviously a fucking baby, and
A monkey.
no, but I remember like seeing him and he was like, I'm so tired. He's like, all I want to do is snuggle the baby. I was like, this seems not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's
know what I mean? Like-
that's how it felt. So that's what I really
So
like.
when did you stop being in the retirement side of things and go direct like into real estate?
halfway through 2021?
So like during the pandemic?
Yeah, that's when I started real estate. Was in the middle of the pandemic.
What was that like?
It was wild. Like it's
I'm pretty
very.
sure
It's
it was
really.
like it was pretty like nuts around that time.
Yes,
Yeah, I guess there was a lot of like
Movement.
There was a lot of. So it's. I didn't realize how crazy it was until now, actually, because now this market is a bit different. It's still very active, but it's more balanced, I guess, than it was in the pandemic. Anyway, yeah, I was.
So now is it like, do you find it easier now, like
Well-
post pandemic?
So it's sort of like in the pandemic, there were so many transactions. So there was like just you're inundated with buyers. Like even with even as a new realtor, there were times where I was like, I don't know if I can take on any more buyers right now, which is very abnormal for a starting realtor. For when you first start, your biggest challenge is
Finding
where to get clients, right? And especially, it's very hard to get people to kind of take a chance on you when you're brand new.
Shitload of money.
Yeah, exactly, because it's their largest investment. A lot of people will have the trajectory of their life changed massively if you fuck it up. So so there, it's hard to get people to take a chance on you, right? That has changed now. So now it's more difficult to get clients, but now you can get a financing condition accepted. Now you can get a home inspection condition accepted, where during the pandemic when I started, you go to school to learn how to advise people on real estate, and then you're thrown into this market where all I could really do during that time was say, what's the highest number that you're approved for? You have to give it to them, because that's what every other person offering here, like for the first year and a half of my career, I didn't sell a house where there wasn't like 10 plus offers involved.
That's insane.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, when I started, the average selling price was about 100,000, 120,000 over what it was listed at. So there was very little that you
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and so I felt there was very little, that I could do in the way of like advising people, because like you could be walking into a place that's completely destroyed, and you have to tell these people, it's still going to go over asking price, so you're still going to have to pay, basically your whole shot, your whole budget.
God, that's so stressful.
So that's not the case anymore.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Now, we can catch people. You can catch some deals from time to time, and you can do more advising. But during that time, like what it taught me was when you're at showings and you're going into a place, like test the electrical right there. Open as many things as you can. You want to do is
find all of the shit. Water pressure.
Yeah.
People don't think about that. Flush the toilets.
Yeah. Like a lot of people
Turn
will
on
just
the
walk into a
shower.
house and like look around and walk out. And there is a lot of information that you could be getting in that initial visit that you're not going to get the opportunity in an inspection at a lot of places. So
I'd say this
That's
to
what I do.
renters too.
Yeah.
That was like my biggest renting tip, was like make sure that everything works.
yeah, turn everything on. You want to just tear as much of a part that you can within reason.
Okay. Noted.
Respectful, but make sure it works.
Yeah.
Fair.
You don't need to dig through people's closets to see the back wall.
I would.
Well, I mean, you probably should, so there's no mold. I don't know there's no boundaries here. I
typically
really
I don't touch anyone's belongings. That's usually what I tell people.
I think that's
That's
fair.
fair, yeah.
But when I've seen some funny thing, like just
Go on.
you'll
Tell me more.
I've been in the showings before where
It's the
there's
weirdest
there's like a
thing.
perfectly there's like a beautiful laundry setup, but the sellers have removed the laundry that is functional and thrown in like the old ones they replaced or something like that, just so it like looks like it's there, and then they say these appliances are included, but really it's just like not even plugged in or hooked up. It's just sitting there.
Interesting.
So it's like a staging moment.
Or
Yeah.
same things with
But,
with sometimes people do that with the kitchen. Is they have like an old beer fridge or something like that in the garage, and they want to keep their appliances, so they'll move that out and move like an older one in.
goodness.
And-
It seems counterproductive to selling.
well, it's just because it's in a market that, like in the pandemic, and even now, really, like in the sub 500,000 market, buyers don't have much of a choice. Like they don't have the time to really inspect and get a home inspection and spend that much time in the house before they make their decision. So sellers get away with that kind of stuff in a market
I
that's
guess that's
so
fair.
imbalanced.
Yeah.
It's right now it's a little different in the more expensive properties because there's not as many buyers. So that's a bit, if you're selling like over 700,000 in this area anyways, it's pretty it's more balanced.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
can get conditions and stuff like that approved, but if you're a first-time home buyer and you're trying to get into the market like under 400,000, there's a good chance that you're going to get one showing and that place is going to sell 2 days from now, and it's going to sell with no conditions even now.
Damn. Okay. Noted.
It just
Scary.
it just means like
Yeah.
if you're a young person and you're listening to this and you're shopping and you're going into these places and your realtor is not tearing stuff up or at least telling you what to look at, you're missing an opportunity.
Get a new realtor.
Is what I would say. That's what would be
Okay.
my advice to people is
Thank
get as
you.
much information as you can. Yeah.
Can we talk about boxing?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. The boxing club.
What's that?
So
What is this?
it was actually so I was a member at Bulldog Boxing Academy when they were downtown, and then COVID happened and wiped out most of downtown. And yes, they stayed open for a bunch of it, but during the end, it just became apparent that it had changed things, and downtown changed as well, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't the best place for them. So they reopened on North Front Street above the Northway.
Oh.
And it's a much bigger space. It's like,
Nice.
it's a big, bright, clean space that they found. So I was the realtor setting that up. And then the owner, Matt, had talked about starting like a basically kindergarten level class.
Yeah.
And he knew that I had taught kindergarten before. So he asked me if I wanted to just do a fundamentals class. So Wednesday and Friday at 5 are the junior Bulldogs. So
Do I have to be a child, or like I could come and do it?
I mean, you could definitely come if you like.
But is it mostly children?
It is all children.
Mostly children.
And
No,
the
it's all
parents,
kids.
you could just pretend one of them is your
I'd be
kid.
like,
That's
that one's
what-
mine. They're like, that's mine. I'm like,
Yeah,
Bring Lincoln.
I'll hand you honey.
yeah.
And you,
Okay, yeah. Can I borrow your child?
Yeah.
My niece would probably love it. Maybe I'll get Bridget. She's
Yeah,
very
it's a
good.
lot of like in my class. We don't do anything other than just fundamentals and games mostly.
Oh, okay.
So we'll do like proper footwork or your stance, or we do a lot of like, especially when they're young, like defense being the most important thing, and
That's so fun.
Okay.
tell them to keep their hands up and stuff like that.
I don't understand boxing like at all.
That's okay.
How do you know if you win?
So
Put your
there's
hand up in the air.
So there's a couple of ways. So most combat sports are judged. So there's usually 3 judges.
Okay.
And those judges are looking for things like ring control. So who is often the aggressor,
Okay.
or like who is
Do you get, like,
landing
points?
the most? Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
So it's scored on a scale where they are evaluating who is winning the round or who is scoring the
So
most.
what if they disagree?
That happens. Sometimes
Oh.
sometimes one judge will call it one way, some will call it the other. That's called a split decision.
Okay.
And usually that's why it's usually an odd number. So that
Oh, that
there's
makes sense. So
always
there's a break the tie type
exactly. There's
situation.
always a tiebreaker, but so like a split decision usually indicates like a really close fight, and then there's a unanimous decision, which means the person
Everybody.
didn't get knocked out, but they dominated the fight. Basically, it's a unanimous decision amongst the judges, and then there's the old-fashioned way to go out, which is you get knocked, you
Like
get
a
forced
KO.
to quit, you get KO'd. Yeah.
Do you like box in fights?
So
do you do fights?
I don't box competitively. I only
okay.
box at the club.
Okay.
So what
any
is that?
of-
What's
yeah.
the difference? Do you just hit a bag?
So no,
versus person?
I'll box with other members of the club. But if you're gonna be like if you want to go
So
the
you hit people.
yeah, yeah,
and you get hit.
yes, mostly getting hit. Yeah,
Is there an option to like not get hit or hit people, or like you're
video
pretty much-
games.
Well, because here's the thing: I've always wanted to box, but I've had like already one too many conkies.
Oh,
so,
do you have to spar? No.
Yeah, like could I
Okay.
just like can I come in and just like hit?
Oh yeah.
that? Okay.
Definitely. Like the
Like I'm definitely like if I was to spar, I'd get hit, and I know that. But no, I've always wanted to box, but my mom's like, you can't take another head injury. I'm like, I know.
I misunderstood you. Yes, you can. Like
Okay,
the
cool.
probably 90%, if not more, of the members of the club don't actually spar.
Good
They're
to
just going for the
know.
workout. So like
Okay.
So if you come to the rec class,
Yeah.
then you're doing like a lead workout with other people your age, and then the last like half an hour of that is instructional. So they'll pull
We're
you.
going to boxing.
Maybe, yeah. Babes do boxing.
Babes box. They would love it. I've like in real estate, most of my colleagues are female, so
Yeah.
a ton of them have come
that's
out
so cool.
and joined
Oh,
the
yeah,
club.
I
and
think it's so
Um,
cool, and I love boxing movies.
Shay,
so-
Shay went to boxing,
Oh yeah.
and so did Dom.
Oh,
That's right.
And you were on Shay's. What is it called? She does like the reels.
yeah, it was on Shay was my first podcast I ever did.
Yeah.
She did like a very short one.
She was our first sponsor.
Oh, really?
She was our first sponsor. I just realized.
And Dom's episode comes out today.
Real
Really?
talk.
Yeah. Oh, well, how do you where do you guys accept sponsorship? Where do you
Anywhere, just
Anywhere. You just gotta
slip it under the table?
Send you
Hit
a
us up.
contract.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Love partnerships.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call them partnerships because technically we want our partners to succeed,
right.
We want everyone to succeed.
but we also want us to succeed.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
So it's we
Help us.
try to make it more of like a collaborative experience.
Right. So how much time are you spending actively trying to seek out sponsorship or
not
Not
a
a whole
lot
lot.
right now.
Not much. It's mostly guests.
It's mostly like people who, not always.
No, we've had a
No.
couple reach out who haven't been on, but can't really radio's not in their budget,
Right.
but they want more of a local following. Also, the cool thing about podcasts is our age range is 18 to 35, and that is a hard market to hit. And
Definitely.
that is our
trying to be relatable.
listeners, yeah.
And-
so
It's a hard market to hit because they're not as inclined to listen to radio.
Okay, so the way. It's not that they're not listening to radio because people are still listening to radio. Whether it's everyone's oh well, I don't listen. I don't have a radio. I'm but you
listen to
tons
it.
of people listen
You have
on
a
their
car.
Alexas
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
streaming
digital
is
streaming
huge,
is
yeah.
huge right now, and people are just oh, radio's dead. I'm no, it's not.
Yeah.
People have apps. I can
it
tell.
better not be dead because I've decided to go into radio.
I literally could tell our streaming has
it's-
increased
Yeah, it's crazy.
threefold. It's
Yeah.
insane. But at the same time, sometimes you just don't want to listen to music. Sometimes
Right,
you
yeah.
want to listen to people bitch about local shit.
That's
what
right.
we're here
I was going to say
for.
there's definitely must be, regardless of age, a market for people looking for local voices.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
for
it's
sure.
kind of
Yeah.
wild too how much it's grown. We kind of just did this because I think we're both unhinged and needed an outlet.
Just both babes of Quinte.
Yeah.
Mine was throughout the pandemic, I developed really intense social anxiety.
Really?
I couldn't leave the house. I still can't really do events because I just break down.
Yeah,
Right.
if we go to
Wow.
events together, it's usually okay.
It's fine.
But
but I
you
can't.
don't like a solo event.
I have a really hard time with a solo event. And I was this is my way to meet people and still be able to network and connect with people and help them tell their stories, but within my comfort zone.
Right.
So I was hey boss,
I like
can
two
we do
people's
this?
stories.
Yeah.
And they're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's truly shocking. They said yes. I don't think they thought it was going to go anywhere.
They're yeah, we'll let them screw around
They're
in there for a bit.
they'll try it, and now we're
Making money.
guess what? We're making money, and they're
Thank you.
so here we are.
Well, good for both of you.
Thanks.
So when you say you developed social anxiety through the pandemic, do you mean you have lingering effects of that now because of COVID itself, or you just
Well, I think it was partially what happened. It was so I had Lincoln February 2020, and then everything shut down
In
March.
yeah.
Yes.
So it was I had a newborn. There was a pandemic that I thought that if anybody came over to help me, my baby was going to fucking die.
I remember that.
You're probably a little postpartum-y.
I
Yeah.
was big postpartum, and so I did a lot of it myself. So then I was just home all the time, and then
Yeah.
all I was doing was playing Animal Crossing, and it's okay.
That
so
part sounds nice.
yeah.
it was lovely,
Yeah.
absolutely lovely. They used to send me little messages telling me that I was important, and I cried
Aw.
every
Maybe
day.
we should start doing that as the babes. Be you are important.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Let's start over the show.
So the pandemic literally, and I'm still to this day trying to get out of it.
Right.
And the last, I think ever since we started the podcast, I've been significantly better.
Yeah, it's been cool to watch because I came back full time in August and just watching her.
I've been a really big sad bean for a very
Yeah.
long time.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't go out even the last 7 years.
Wow.
I've been kind of just in.
I
And
think
the-
though too, the pandemic, even now I'm people are want to hang out. I'm do I?
Yeah.
Then I always
I
feel
did-
better once I do.
Yeah, it's just
fine.
getting there is.
I think a lot of people just got better at entertaining themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Also that.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable just hanging out with my dogs, but I'm oh, I should go see people.
I think a
Luckily-
big part of it was when I broke up. He was I'm leaving you because you need me too much. And
Wow.
I was
How fun.
okay, this is the first I'm hearing about this.
Right.
And I was okay, I don't need you. And then I was okay, well, I'm going to be hyper independent now.
Right.
and not need anybody.
Go the total opposite direction.
Complete opposite direction. And,
But it's been really fun, and just like you coming on, like that. That's just support in itself. Like people willing to come and talk to us. I'm like, wow, you're taking time out of your day.
Yeah.
come shoot the shit. And
I just wanted to tour the radio station.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, you could have just asked.
Yeah, like, we'll do that.
It's
too.
fine.
No, it's cool. It's fun.
It is.
Well, that's
super
cool.
And I
fun.
like meeting people.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I think parenting throughout the pandemic in general
was fucked up.
It was very hard.
I'm trying to do the math. Are both your kids pandemic babies?
Yes.
Okay.
So Archie was born May 2020.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So like when Archie was born, I could barely like move in the delivery room. Like they
Yeah, I
were
was
like,
gonna say,
sit
could
down in this
you-
chair, don't look at anyone, don't talk to anyone. You're not allowed to eat. You're not allowed to drink. Just that was it.
We had
You can just exist.
Like, could
Yeah.
you go in and see her after? Because we had
No.
Jen from Northern Crafts Supply, and she's like, I was just in there by myself.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was allowed to be in the delivery room, and then Archie was a C-section, so
Yeah.
I hung out in there for a little while, and they took her to the operating room where they performed the C-section,
remove the baby.
remove the baby.
Wait, did you get to go into that?
I was able to be there for that. They handed him to me, and they're like, okay, you get like a couple minutes to hold him, and then so they're just like, they're like, okay, and now you got to go, and then they send you home for.
Oh my God.
So I was home for 2 days, just at home, like on level 11. Like I didn't
That's
know what to do
insane.
or like what I was supposed to be doing or what.
And why couldn't you go back in for 2 days just because of like restriction?
Yeah, it was just brand new early days of pandemic, and
That's fucked up.
yeah, and I didn't get to, and so they just. And then he came home, and the rest was history. But yeah, for those 2 days, I don't think I slept or I barely
how would
ate.
you?
Or
It's like,
I did not
okay.
know what was going on.
Yeah.
Well, and then like being like knowing the actual birthing side of things, because I had a C-section too, and that shit's fucking painful.
Yes.
Like I don't care. I think it's complete bullshit that they send you out of the hospital with Tylenol and ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Like fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I don't straight up doctors love you to pieces. I love what you do, but fuck you for
Right. Yeah.
like,
Pain you put us through.
well, no,
I've
it's
never
not
had
even
a
the pain.
C-section,
It's
so
the
I
pain
can't talk.
management that's like just
Oh, yeah.
non-existent.
And I often wonder about moms that had a C-section throughout the pandemic, like in that stage where nobody knew if it was safe to be around, and then had to deal with a newborn with a cesarean scar, because like it really limits how much you can move and lift and,
By myself.
Yeah, like most mom. So I'm.
No
I'm
wonder you
sure
have
you know what I
anxiety.
mean. Yeah.
Kind of by myself. To be fair, sometimes at night I would get to sleep for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But then I'd have to wake up and make everybody
Yeah.
breakfast and drive Kate to school.
Oh my God.
And I was like, can you
I
not
have
just
mad props for like
drive her to
people
school for
who
me?
had kids or just like had newborns or had kids during the pandemic was wild.
And our kids are a different breed.
Yeah, there's like it's funny watching them like grow now. I'm like, you guys are like missing something that we all
Yeah,
and I think it's just the social like
So now like I religiously take my kids to the park or like somewhere I know there's going to be other kids, a gymnastics club, something like that.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when we first started doing that, like both my kids would just do this weird, like they'd just like walk up to other kids or other people at the park and just stand in front of them and stare at them, just with no real social
what
cues
is
at
going
all.
on?
Yeah, and I would realize like they're just in awe of other people.
Yeah,
They're
they
just
have
like
no
having their
idea.
mind blown that like there's more humans in the world other than mom and dad
parents,
and grandma and grandpa.
yeah.
I remember the first time Lincoln saw somebody his height,
Yeah.
he was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, what
There
is
are
going
others.
There's more of
on?
me.
Yeah.
No, it was wild because we like helped my sister-in-law like runs a farm with her husband and like he was still working. So she would have like one strap to her back, one strap to her front, like still farming. And so we would try and take them and help because she has 4. So like the older 2 were supposed to be doing homeschool. Like it was just a gong show. And so we would take them and then I'd be trying to do school with them. And I'd be like, Bridget, you're 4. Like, what are you learning right now?
Yeah, exactly.
It was crazy. So props to all you parents out there.
Yeah, that would have been another battle I wouldn't have wanted to do, is online school with especially early stage pandemic where nobody really knew what was going on. Kids were just like, what the...
It was a shit show.
Yeah.
It was not fun because Kate was in grade 7, 23 years ago. Yeah, so grade 7-ish when it hit. And most of her grade 7th year was like just non-existent.
I feel like there was a year of write-off for kids. Where
and now the high schools expect them to be at high school level.
Yeah,
and I'm just kind of like, do you not realize what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy.
We lost 2 years of school, basically.
I'm so excited to see them, like, in university. What are they going to be like?
I don't know. Like, I think the entire system will have to adapt.
Adjust, yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you're evaluating kids on a equal scale, then they were all affected equally.
Well, that's the thing.
Held back.
But like not even though, because there's some parents that like straight up just didn't do the homeschool.
Yeah.
You got to worry about them.
And then there's some parents that were very supportive of doing it. So those kids are going to be ahead. And there's some parents that just don't have the knowledge to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Or, you know, some parents just don't have time.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. So like, it's like, yeah, they all went through the same thing, but everyone is still at different levels because not every parent, you know, can either help them or refuse to help them.
Yeah.
Or didn't care.
Yeah,
Because that's a thing too.
I think kids and especially like are just resilient.
Oh yeah.
I think I think kids are a little bit more malleable than adults can be sometimes. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, and that's trauma.
Yeah.
For later on in life.
Yeah.
Therapy.
Yeah.
We love
very
therapy.
helpful.
Can we rapid fire?
Oh yeah, I have rapid fire questions.
So we're just going to ask
yeah.
you a quick question.
Okay.
Okay. What's your favorite, what movie or show do you keep rewatching?
Flavor of Love.
Oh, it's so good.
Are you serious?
Oh, what a show. I forgot about that.
I just like a good romance story.
Do you watch Love is Blind?
No, I don't want. Well, like the newer ones don't grip me as much.
It's insane.
Like,
I've only watched the newer ones, so I can't.
Please watch it.
Yeah.
Love is Blind. So this is the one where they
don't
only
see
talk
each
to a screen, right? Like
They
they
talk
only.
to like a pod.
It's like a
wall.
pod. It's a wall.
Oh, okay. Was
It's
this
so
like
weird.
Amazon Prime or is it
Netflix.
It's Netflix? Okay.
Yeah, it's weird, but I'm invested
I
in season
fully
4.
believe that it could work.
What's the Love
So
is
the premise
Blind?
is you get to know somebody
Without
in like
seeing
these
them.
pods without seeing them. And you know, I think it's, 2 or 3 weeks the whole process, but you'll spend like 10 hours a day talking to people and going on dates and doing all these things. The whole idea is that you fall in love. At the end of it, you get proposed to, and then you see them at like.
So you don't see their photo or
No.
anything?
You don't see them. You have to propose, and then
Oh, whoa.
And then you
get
can
to
see them.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to commit.
Can you just be like, all these people suck? I don't want.
Yeah, so a lot of people like there's only in the end like there's like 12 pairs, and then in the end like I
Only
think
like
this
4 or 5 of them actually get
Okay.
through.
would recommend.
It's a hot mess shit show because then they go to Mexico afterwards,
so
like
funny.
all the couples.
Oh, you stay with them.
Yeah,
follow
yeah,
them.
you follow
You
them
follow
until
them
the wedding.
till the
And then
wedding.
At the wedding, they either say like I do or not
I don't.
good.
Oh, and
Yeah.
how, like what's the rate? What's the completion
Like,
rate
it's
of
not
people?
good. I don't
This
know.
season, I think.
Don't tell me.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, no, I can't spoil it. But like in past seasons, I think there's maybe like 2 or 3 couples that are still married from past seasons.
Oh, that's good.
But I genuinely think it could work if you. Realistically, all these people are fucking hot. Like, let's be serious.
Okay, so that's
They're all
that was
good
kind of my.
looking.
I didn't know how to
Yeah.
ask.
But that's the
that.
thing is
are
like
they-
everyone is decently good looking. Like I don't.
This is now a Love is Blind podcast, and I'm so excited.
yeah. Well, you'd think that there would need to you like
There is like that's
you
the
would
thing though. But
you're sort of like
on that level.
catfishing people.
Yeah,
if,
yeah, yeah.
You know,
it's
if,
so good. It's
Yeah.
so ridiculous and cringy. Put it on your next to
will.
Flavor of Love.
my wife likes. I thought that's what you were talking about at first, but Love is First Sight or something like that.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one,
Married
too.
at First Sight.
Married at First Sight. Like,
I don't know what that one is.
oh, they just walk down the aisle. Like, that's the first time they see each other. They have to get married.
So they just, like...
But they have
you
no,
do the standard,
like...
dating show application where you, fill out what you're interested in and what you're looking for.
That's horrifying.
And then the cast matches you with someone, and then you meet, at your wedding.
Yeah. It's so
And
good. I haven't watched it, but it seems great.
So they, try to stay... So then the show is, them trying to be a couple that just met. And
Ooh, that's spicy.
a lot of them, or I don't know, some of them seem to work out, but I was reading while my wife was watching it the other day, and there was a scene where
Quote unquote.
There was a scene where I can't remember what the conflict was, but the interviewer asks both of them so how are you how are you intimately, or how what's your sex life like, basically?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, well, it's not it's not there yet, just we haven't been able to make it. And they pan to the girl and she's like, I'm not interested. And it's just
savage.
So good.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're entertaining
ask
the
your
idea of
wife
marrying.
if she's watched Love Is Blind. If she has not, bless her with the 4th season.
Oh yeah. Well, okay.
It is a beautiful
dive
shit
in.
show.
It's fun. Is it?
Love it.
Okay.
What's your most used emoji?
I think laughing face.
Good one.
Like the one with the tears, or
yeah,
just the
I think
laughing
so.
face?
Just hard, sad laughing. Yeah.
a good cry laugh, you know?
Yeah.
A trauma tears, as I like
I think
to call
so.
them.
Or maybe this one. I don't know.
Yeah.
When people say, what do you think this is going to sell for? I just send.
What are those things you're too old to do but still enjoy?
The Wiggles.
Oh.
Can't wait to take my daughter to a Wiggles concert. I took my son, and it was so fun.
They have a new hot wiggle.
Yeah.
Yes, John.
Purple.
Yes. Yeah, my wife is all of a sudden into the
into
Wiggles.
Wiggles?
Before she was like,
Sign
I
me
hate all
up.
these people.
Yeah.
And
That's intentional.
Simon?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
No, okay. Well, there's an older daddy Wiggle, I think,
Zaddy,
too.
as the kids
Daddy
say.
wiggle.
I don't know what that means.
Daddy
but-
wigs.
But John is he has on his other social media content,
Yeah,
he has
he's
sexy stuff.
He's hot
And,
on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
He does
Yeah.
transitions, like him being hot with his tattoos into his Wiggles outfit.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
I
and
love it.
fun. Yeah. Okay. Go. Last
Obviously,
question.
mine's Bluey, so
Oh
kids
yeah.
aren't into
Not
Bluey.
hot.
No, my kids
I've
aren't.
already
into Bluey.
been
No.
I've been there.
Okay.
'Cause I was like Bluey.
Yeah,
Love
I put
it.
it on. I'll be like, Archie, look, it's a little dog, and he's like, excavator. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
feel
get
it.
that. Okay. You ready?
What's your most ridiculous fear?
My most ridiculous fear. It seems like everything leads back to parenting, but ever since I became a parent of
Yeah.
kids, I just have these moments where I'll shoot up in bed thinking if I've left my kid at the park or something, or maybe they're choking, or
I'm constantly worried that I left Lincoln in the car all the time.
Yeah, and
So stressful.
I never
Hate that.
have, but even I'll be at the park sometimes, and I'll be watching Honey, and then 30 seconds will pass where I haven't looked up to see what Archie's doing, and I'll have a little minor panic attack. And I don't think that most people when I was becoming a parent, I wasn't ready for that. The moment they're born, you're just worried about this
we had
all the
someone
time.
on, and they're like, I think it was Jenny was on. She's like, yeah, when I first had her, I just had to go and keep being like, are you breathing?
Yeah.
Still to
good.
this day, Kate's 14, and I sit there and I check to make sure she's still breathing at night.
Yeah,
No one checks that for me.
my wife is
Not
pretty
probably does.
cold. She's pretty cool, so she helped me a lot with that. Where she's like, "Look, there's
They're good.
nothing you can do. So relax."
I just have to let them fall. And
I'm going to call this parenting and real estate 101.
parenting and real estate. Okay, what's your favorite Quinte restaurant?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
My favorite Quinte restaurant.
Because everyone's answer is always different.
I think the Oriental Walk.
So good. We haven't had that one in a while.
That one is, I think, might be one of my. Yeah, exactly.
Momo.
It's like an OG too. It's been here. If you go
Forever.
in, they have articles in the cut out from the newspaper from back in the day of their story, and I read it when I'm waiting to pick up food.
They do have a very classic like waiting area where
Yeah.
there's like they just have a board where you can pin your business card.
Yeah.
and,
I love
like,
that. We have that too.
Oh, nice.
Well,
Leave one.
it's a community board where you can like post flyers for events
Community
and
boards.
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
That's cool.
for people walking in.
Can I shut her down?
I
I have
think
to
so.
come over there, but
That's it.
That's it.
that's all.
That's
Cool, that
all,
was fun.
folks.
Thanks for
Babes.
doing that. Well, you're a babe too.
Oh, thank you.
That was amazing. So good. Every time. People are killing it.
I honestly, I think I didn't know some of the stuff he told us, and apparently he's my oldest friend in Quinte. So
Love it.
one of them, anyways.
One of them. There is, because I've been editing this episode the past, like, yesterday and today. Me and him nerd out hard about landscaping. Oh my God. And I kind of forgot that happened, so that was fun. It's fun listening back, being like, oh yeah, that happened.
I didn't forget because I'm looking at all the landscaping in my backyard, and I'm like, I told him that I'm like, oh, I know, I got it. And I'm like, no, come back.
That day too, so usually in the studio there's 3 mics, and there's like one seat that looks at 2 of the seats, and I usually sit in it because I do the recording. But that was not a good day for me, so I put you in. I said, this is your intro. I think we have to switch more often because I loved.
Okay, well, next time, who's next? Eliza?
I don't know.
Okay, well, the next interview, I'm going to sit in the captain's seat.
You're gone next week. Yeah, so it must be Eliza.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the captain's chair, and it's yours now. I think we have to start going more back and
You
forth.
need to show me what buttons to press.
Yeah, it's not hard. But that episode too, I just set you up, and then
I know, but I want to be able to ping things on the edition.
Thank you, Emily. Quisnell?
Canal.
French. I'm so bad with names. But thank you, Evan Furmidge. We learned about cell phone sales. Didn't know that was commission until then. Old people staying in houses a long time,
Real long time.
which relates to the housing continuum.
Yep.
Real
Real estate, landscaping,
estate, how it
children.
was like having children during the pandemic. And
the life journey to get to this point, which I thought was really cool.
those are my favorite stories. I love it because I think as a child you're taught like this is a linear path. You're like, my life's gonna go on this linear path.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason I wanted to start this podcast is because my life was not going linear. It was
Oh my God,
all
no.
over the place. And I like to know other people also had a very zigzaggy
Oh my God, zigzaggiest.
zigzaggy. So we hope you all have zigzaggy lives because it's kind of more fun that way.
Well, that is just like, I think I grew up with a lot of shame over not having the path that, was taught to
Yeah.
us. And it's like, you know what, like maybe sometimes that path it's okay to kind of stray from it and then come
Yeah.
back to when you're ready, because I wasn't ready.
I was not ready.
So yeah, I think that was great.
Volunteer and Information Quinte's Dancing with the Stars is returning to Belleville for its 15th year.
VIQ is a multi-purpose agency. Through volunteer programs, they assist with the recruitment, referral, retention, and recognition of volunteers to over 275 agencies throughout Hastings and Prince Edward County.
Dancing with the Stars Quinte is VIQ's largest fundraiser and ensures they can continue to provide essential programs and services to our area.
This year's Dancing with the Stars is on May 26th. For more information on VIQ and Dancing with the Stars, go to viq.ca. Tickets to the event are $25 plus applicable fees and can be purchased through Ticketmaster. Check the link in our bio. I do have a conspiracy theory I want to talk to you about.
Give it to me. I'm ready.
The Bob Ross one. Where I just found this one out
Oh my
the other day.
gosh. Yeah, I remember.
Like maybe last week, the week before.
I think you told me about it last week.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. So apparently Bob Ross paintings are actually where he's buried bodies.
I like the way you say buried.
Buried
Bodies.
bodies because he was a serial killer.
This isn't proven, right? Is
No,
Bob Ross
absolutely
dead?
not. Yes.
Okay.
No, this is absolutely not, probably not true.
Where'd you read about it? Reddit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks out. Okay. Not true. This is not fact. This is
This
something.
is very, very just like,
I think it's a good conversation starter.
honestly, I think it's hilarious.
Imagine he's just like, and then you're painting the trees. I killed someone there.
It's like, oh, a little bush behind that bush there.
Fun fact about me is like I love true crime.
Yeah.
but I also have really bad anxiety. So I love true crime. I love Law and Order. I love like CSI. These are my shows. But sometimes I get really anxious, so I have to stop. But I love true crime.
Yeah. See, I like the true crime when it comes to like financial stuff and like banking stuff.
That's fun.
Oh, like what was that one girl?
I don't know.
That had the Netflix show. Anna.
Anna.
Love that kind of shit.
What was that called?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. That actress played her so well.
Did you watch the Call Her Daddy interview with the actual girl?
No, but she's also from Ozark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, the actual girl, like the one that actually committed the crimes, Alex.
Wait, she had her on?
Alex Cooper had her on and video chatted her from prison.
We should get a prisoner on. Imagine. Be terrifying.
Why did you kill this person? Can you please explain to me the thought process?
Or don't. I don't think I want to know.
I really kind of do want to know. Like, no, but seriously, like, so hear me out. Okay. Someone has a complete mental break.
Little mentee bee?
Not even a little one. This is like, you have to have a big mentee bee to want to kill somebody.
Yeah.
So you have a big mentee bee and you murder somebody. And then after, like, you go to jail, you're getting therapy, you have remorse afterwards.
But some of them don't.
No, I know some of them don't, but the ones that do.
Yeah.
I want to talk to ones that do.
Yeah, same. Same.
Like, from jail still, but like...
We're now going to start a true crime podcast, just joking.
No, but like, actually, I think that would be really cool. I don't... Do I want to have a criminal?
No.
Like, I mean, it scares the shit out of me, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think my mental brain can do that.
I don't think ethically I could do it.
No.
Because I don't necessarily want to give a platform to someone who's a murderer.
I do want to say, though, talking about shows, I'm like circling back.
Circle back to something happier.
Stony Lonesome Season 2 is out on Bell 5. Yes. So if you haven't, go watch it. And go follow the Babes Network or join the Babes Network. It's a group on Facebook.
Yeah, a group on Facebook. I think we wrote a new sketch for Stony Lonesome in our group chat with Matt.
Oh, he already had that idea because the same thing happened to him already.
I still don't understand what happened.
Okay, so I remember Matt telling me he was at and like a guy saw his tattoos and he came up to him and was like, oh my God, you have tattoos, cool. And then started proceeding to show him all of his, like showed Matt all of his tattoos.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
Exact same thing happened to me at though.
Was it the same guy?
That's what I'm thinking.
Probably, yeah.
But I just, because I kind of forget I have tattoos.
Oh yeah, I don't think about it ever.
So it's funny, and I'm covered. We both have a fair amount. I wouldn't say I'm covered, but like we have a lot. So I don't really think about it.
No, it's just part of who I am.
None of them have really meaning behind them. Like some of them do.
Have you ever like completely covered them with makeup?
No, have you? Mm-hmm. That's funny.
I did my whole chest one day because I was bored. And I was like, this doesn't look right.
Well, yeah. No, it doesn't.
It's weird.
It's so weird.
I'm going to come to work one day. Maybe that's what I'll do for Halloween. I'll come in as like a basic white girl.
I think it's funny because I can wear, like, if you see me long sleeves and, like, pants, you can't tell I have any time. Like, same. Like
if you, yeah, no, if you were to, like, what you were wearing, say, at the photo shoot, if you were to do that.
There's, like, one you can see.
Yeah, I would have never known.
But then if like, I love a crop top, little croppy action. Like, I have a stomach tattoo, but people wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
So.
Dun, dun, dun.
The more you know, right?
I can't get over your shirt. It's so great.
Oh, yeah. So, not a fun fact, but my grandfather passed away 2 weeks ago. And I took a bunch of his shirts because they're funny. He had a bunch of funny shirts. So like
funny graphic tees.
Graphic tees. So this one has a bottle of wine on it because he loved wine. And it says, drinks well with others.
Key West.
And it's from Key West. And he has a lot of Key West shirts. So Jeanette and I took like all of his graphic tees.
I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Solid amount. I wore one to the Celebration of Life.
Which one?
There's a restaurant in Key West called Fast Buck Freddy's, and so he had a shirt from there, and I wore it as homage to him. Other fun fact that I haven't really, I make a lot of jokes about being a Nepo baby, which I am. Mm-hmm. I do work hard, but I am third generation radio, which I think is pretty damn cool. And
I want to deep dive into our Solo Dolo podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. You're like, am I?
I might cry, but
that's okay.
Yeah.
But like, I want to talk about all of it. Like, hopefully have John in.
Imagine.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
I'm going to cry.
Don't cry. I'll cry.
Like, on all of Canadian radio and television. Like, we need to cut this out because I'm going to cry.
I'm already crying. Yeah, kind of sucked. But yeah, it is cool.
It's very, very cool. And I'm like, I didn't know.
We need tissues in here.
Yeah, I didn't know Fred well at all. I met him once at Dancing with the Stars. And
he's a good guy.
Good guy. I
know
I was going with it somewhere with that thought.
We'll dive more into this when we're not crying.
I'm still gonna cry.
No. On a happier note. Who's coming out next? What episode?
Andy Forgey.
Oh, are we finally telling them?
Oh, I don't know.
We are.
We are now. Andy Forgey.
We also cried with Andy Forgey. So, you know what? Now it's a crying podcast, I guess.
You know what? If Andy Forgey can kind of cry with us,
we're good.
I feel like we're doing something.
We've made
right.
it. We've made it in Belleville. I think so.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited for everyone to hear that episode because he is just a joy.
So fun. And then
he matched our energy perfectly.
And I don't even we are booking episodes, we are taking partnerships, we are planning things, and as we like to say sometimes, I don't think we say it every episode, we do work at Starboard Communications,
home of Cool 100 95.5 in Quinte.ca,
the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast,
Belleville Radio Advertising Team,
Babes of Quinte,
Christmas in Quinte,
oh yeah,
Starboard Cares. Many things. We have, we do a lot. Good news in Quinte.
So if you are a small business or a new business or just a business looking
a medium business,
a
any
large
size business,
we'll take
anything. All businesses.
And you don't really have a marketing plan or you want to add to your marketing plan, please, we have people and we can talk to you. And it's no pressure. You can literally just ask questions. And if you're like, you know what, not for me right now, that's fine.
Totally. Because we build custom marketing plans for all different budgets.
Yeah.
And we're not going to just take your money to take your money. It's it's one of those things. It's we know that marketing is an investment and we want to make sure that it works for you and that it's going to be a good return on investment for you and your business.
ROI, baby.
Yeah, bibs.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways.
Like it. So that's a self-plug again.
Self-plug because one, I really want to help other businesses, and two, we're really, really effing good at it.
I think so. But otherwise, have a great week.
Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
We'll tickle your eardrums next week.
Ew.
I haven't said that in a while.
Freaking hate that.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
The Babes of Quinte podcast is recorded and produced at Starboard Communications, home of 95.5 Hits FM, Cool 100, and in Quinte.ca.